Hello folks, and welcome to what I hope will be a very interesting build, something new to me, and that is the building of an indoor model, the Microaces Fokker D7. And what I'm going to do in a few short videos is give you an impression of how I found the experience of building it. I'm not going to attempt to actually give a blow-by-blow account because Microaces produce an excellent series that does just that, and I can't attempt to better that, I'm sure. But what I will do is give you an impression of how I think it's gone together, what I think of the kit, and when I hopefully get it flying, my experience of flying indoors with this model. Although it is capable of flying outdoors if you pick the correct weather conditions. Let's start off then by having a look at how I'm going to set about doing this. I've got my rather scruffy building board. I could have done with a nice clean one, but never mind. I have here two printouts, an assembly guide and an addendum guide, because this one is for the 4-channel aileron model. There are some variations and modifications to the kit that allow it to be a full house 4-channel radio model. I've got handy the sort of tools that I think I'll need. I've got a variety of tweezers. I'll be using Upo for the foam to foam gluing, because the last thing I want is it to all melt apart. I've got some thin CA. It's not foam safe. This is for gluing together some of the ply parts, and I've got a very fine applicator. Hope you can see that, which helps to be more precise in how it's applied. With that in mind, I've made myself an applicator for applying the Upo, because I don't think squeezing it out of a nozzle is going to be very accurate. So I've got a little hand drill holder, and I've put a piece of wire in, and I'll use that to put the glue where I want it. Marker pen, so I can tick off the parts as I actually assemble them. This is the sort of format it takes, so you can identify the parts in the kit. And what I intend to do is, as I find them, I'll cross them out, which will make finding subsequent ones easier. They are all colour coded, so they're either a plastic part, they're part of the 1mm foam, 2mm foam, or stickers, and that actually helps greatly when you come to put the thing together. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing to do is to find these parts, and as you can see, the white coloured in parts are the 2mm foam, the green are the plastic, and the red are the stickers. So let's find these parts, we'll cut them out, and then when they've actually been assembled, they're actually coloured in grey. Rather neat way of presenting the information. Let's get cracking. So here we have the 2mm parts, and that's rather obviously, that's the first cutout that's required. So let's do that. I've put a new blade in here. I think it's probably worthwhile having a new build for a new blade for a new build. So that's that part, and I don't know how long this will last as a commitment, but as I find the parts, I'll cut them, I'll mark them off. So that's that part found, mark it off. Put it to one side, let's move the glue out of the way, that's that part. I need part D5 and D5 for the fuselage here. So that should make that easy to find. There you go, D5. Didn't take long to lose the knife, never mind. D5, yeah. And actually what I'm going to do, I think, as I go along, is put them into position so I can sort of dry fit them as I go along. There's D5. Extremely lightweight when you handle it. It feels funny to somebody that's used to butchering sometimes models. Right, D6. This part here, let's cut that out. The next part to go on, that goes in there. Yeah, very nice. Next one is D7, quite obviously. Next one crossed out. And that's the little tab from the previous cut. Remove that. And that one appears here. Slightly different on the drawings because that's not going to go. Yes, it is. Because this part, this hump, is to actually accommodate the parts that are on here, which are the actuators for the ailerons. So it's slightly different from the drawing, and that's pointed out very clearly by, I believe it's John on the online video from Microaces. If I'm not correct on that, I'll put his correct name at the bottom. So that's the next one. Well, the next one you would guess, be D8. Sure enough, D8. That's fine. Now there is going to be a couple of stickers that go on there, but obviously I haven't glued them in yet. D8. It'd be easier to glue them in the flat, put the stickers on in the flat, than it would in situ, and I don't want to do that and make my life more difficult. Part 8. Yeah, part 8 would go there. I haven't glued the plastic strengtheners on yet. I'm just cutting out the foam parts at the moment. And part 9. D9 there. D4 is a platform that goes in afterwards, but let's cut out D9. There we have. We'll have the beginning quite clearly of a fuselage. That's rather neat, isn't it? So I'll put that to one side. Obviously nothing's glued to it yet, and let's have a look at the plastic parts which strengthen the keel, as it's referred to in the build. So I'll put that to one side. I need the plastic parts and the stickers. Plastic parts first. I believe these are the plastic parts, and they've got a stiffer feel to them. And the parts I need are these two at the bottom, which are referred to as the keel strengtheners, P1, P1. Okay, let's cut those out. That's definitely, you can feel you're not cutting through foam here. We'll cut this out and glue it on. We'll see if it works applying it with the applicator. That's just one. So now that I've put these in, I know the fit, I've got to take them back out, put them in order. There we go. And might be easier handling these. See how they go. And obviously that stiffens the whole structure up. Okay. Let's just trim off those little tabs which I can see there are. These are just the tabs that have been left behind from cutting it off, and I think they actually could cause an issue if you don't remove them fully. Right. I'm happy with that. Let's see if I can apply the glue without getting it everywhere. Using this. It's hard to know, I've never used this before, how much you actually need to use. Definitely helps putting it on with this, I think. It's already oozing out the tube. Don't know if you've noticed, you tend to talk quietly when you're concentrating. Of course, talking to yourself in the house is a bit odd anyway. Though I like to think that I'm chatting to the people that are watching. Without something like this for me through the day, it would be a long day. And people have commented on how quickly I seem to get things done when I am modelling, but that's simply because I model every day. It fills my time, and I like to fill it with something creative rather than passively watching the TV or a movie or whatever. Right, I've applied that. That's a strange experience, it's very odd. Not sure how much manoeuvring time you've... Well, the answer is not very much. So That's an abject failure in terms of lining it up. Sticks a lot quicker than I thought. I want to get that corner and that corner right. That's okay. That's much better. That's much better. Still, I believe you can use lighter fuel to readjust if you make a mistake. I've got a feeling I might need that. Nice, that's it glued. That actually makes a big difference to the feel of the... You can see it's boarded though. That's something perhaps to watch. There you go. That's gone on okay. You can bend it a little bit and manoeuvre it. That feels better. So I'll pause it there. I'll do the other one, and then we'll come back and have a look. So I've done a little bit of the prepping work. Observations. The OO is definitely sticky, and I think the applicator helps on spreading it out. You only need a thin amount, and you do have a little bit of play time to move it around. The stickers are very sticky, and I was caught out a little bit applying this one. And the other thing is they're not always a perfect match to the part, which I was a little bit caught out by, and obviously because they were so strong with the adhesion, I've had to fiddle about with it, but I don't think that's going to show up much inside. So let's get this together. The other observation is that the thin 1mm plastic makes an enormous difference to the strength. I was quite surprised at what a difference it makes. When gluing this on, I made sure that it went flat, otherwise there is a little bit of a tendency to bow, which once the glue's set, that's gone. So that seems a solid thing to build on. Now, these have got a reinforcing part added to them, and that needs to be glued on there. So I'll do that now, and obviously you want to keep them as square as possible, as is the case with any formers in a bulkhead. So let's apply a little glue with the applicator. A little bit more on that part there. We want these to be strong. This is the part that's going to take the impacts when I hit the gym wall. Happy with that. Now the next one is basically the firewall, or the inside of the compartment. Now I've added these on. I thought that was going to happen. You know, that this is a good fit until you put the plastic piece on. Once the plastic piece is on, that slot won't force over because you've got 1 mil either side. So it doesn't say otherwise, but I'm going to have to cut out. Definitely going to have to cut out some to accommodate that. Let's give it a go. Only talking about the slither, but on this scale it definitely makes a difference. Let's try that. Yeah, that fits now. Apply some glue. I think perhaps, you know, it would have crushed on. I'll try not cutting it out for the others. Plastic side in. I line it up to keep it nice and square. I'm going to use a little offcut from the foam to make a little gusset for the inside for that particular bulkhead. Sure, it's not called for, but I'm putting one in. These are what I'm adding. I think it's worthwhile. And actually, I'm going to pick it up with a blade. That's easier. Just checking by eye for squareness. Happy with them. Now this one, goes here. I think the same thing's going to, no, can't go there, it goes there. There you go. Now, I think there was no need to cut that out. A bit of a mistake on my part. It's squeezed in okay there, but I've overcome the foobar by putting those little pieces in, so it will push over. I shouldn't have worried unduly about that. Oops. And you want the interior pointing back. Check the square, happy with that. And then this one obviously goes that way. There you go, it's going together rather nicely. This one at the back. Leave that for a second. That's the beginning of the fuselage. We'll leave it there, let it dry, and then we'll come back. Well, there we have it. That's the first stage completed. The fuselage crutch, so to speak, with the formers in place. I've added the platform that supports the motor and battery and radio gear. I have this to make next because this has 4 channels, and I need to make the mechanism for the aileron control, which goes in there. Observations so far? Well, it's a very precisely made kit, excellent quality. I mistakenly felt that this plastic part here would mean that I couldn't push these in, but there's a crushability to the foam that allows you to do that. I didn't need to cut the slither out as I thought here. Stickers almost caught me out. They are very sticky and they're very thin, very good quality. You may find a slight variation in the instructions regarding the placing of the stickers on the master sheet, because for each different colour livery there's a slightly different set of stickers, obviously, and they may not always be in exactly the same place. I found that in this case. The plastic makes a big difference to the feel, and that is a very robust structure for what it is. The applicator, I find, helps that I made using a piece of wire rather than trying to squirt out the end of the nozzle. I find that a bit coarse, and I'm getting used to the feel of the UPO. I'm sure I'll get better as I go along. So I'll call this video done. I don't want it to go on too long. The next one, I'll make this mechanism up and we'll concentrate on what you have to do in locating this. But once again, I have to say that Microaces videos are superb, and if you want real instruction, quality instruction, go to them. This is just my view on how I'm finding it. I'm finding it very different. I'm enjoying it. It's a bit like putting together a plastic kit, but because you're dealing with very lightweight foam, it just feels different to what I'm used to, but I'm enjoying it. I hope you've enjoyed it too, and if you have, please give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for looking in.